Who's in? Who's in? Who's in? Who we got in? Who we got in? I'm good, Dave. I'm good, man. How's tricks? Everything all right? Corona, Corona. How many prisoners are getting infected, bro? It's crazy shit. I think there's 19 prisoners confirmed as having the virus at the minute. Um, HMP Lachey, which is a full-on 100% nonce prison, an 84-year-old nonce just died. Whoop. Okay, whoop. But yeah, the coronavirus, any general population prisoners, I don't want them getting it, man. It's going to be disastrous. Prisons are being told, I'm seeing worrying stuff about prisons, and they're going to try and make things available as a morgue within the prisons. Um, yeah, Prince Charles, man. Prince Andrew self isolating with a 14-year-old girl. Alan Saunders, Clint Brook. I feel shit myself, actually. I just got a crazy banging headache. I'm not about that coronavirus, man, but fucking on a level, big time. Uh, but the thing is, the way that you're seeing all this stuff right out there, and they're trying to do this for prisoners, and we're introducing 900 mobile phones to be distributed between 55 prisons or some shit, right? 55 prisons. The reason it's 55 prisons, right, is because 50 prisons are believed to have full in-cell phones. So they were going to put 55 prisons, 900 phones into 55 prisons. Prison population. Do you know what? I don't know what's going on with my fucking internet. Every time I try and do a live, they fucking start stinging. I've even knocked the thingy off on my phone here. But yeah, really worrying signs for prisoners. My beard's fucked. I've not just, it's just untouched. So yeah, really worrying signs for prisoners, prisoners' friends, prisoners' family. Really fucking worrying. Like really, really worrying. And then like I believe that. Well, I know there's going to be riots within prison. I'll say that. See, this is the thing, man. Matt there in Featherstone, 2003. Hope you're staying out, Matt. Now, but honestly, the dangerousness of this fucking virus. Prisons are overcrowded, as we well know. Prisons are unhygienic. Prisons are unsanitary. Uh, and it's just prisons are breeding grounds for not just extremism, but viruses and infections and stuff like that. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Jacob, 1,000,000%. But the facts are, when you see prisons, the prisons were put it right. There was a post before that prisons have put £5 on prisoners' pins, right, so they can use the phone. Not £5 a day, just £5 for a week or whatever, right? £5, guys. If you're ringing a mobile from the prison phone, right, it's costing you dough, right, and it goes quick. That £5 credit is not gonna go anyway. It's a drop in the ocean when you look at an hour visit a week once you're convicted and stuff, right? And if you're on remand, you can have half an hour of visit a day. Well, you used to be able to until they cancelled all visits. Visits are a massive part of keeping a prisoner's head on his shoulders, and not just for the prisoner, but also for the prisoner's family, prisoner's girlfriend, prisoner's wives, prisoner's husbands. We've got female prisoners, but it's going to be catastrophic, guys. First death now, first prison death, right? Like I said, it was a nonce, right? And hopefully they're all infected, right? Oh, some little knobhead on Facebook. Oh yes, just because it's a nonce and stuff, we're there to support them, and I'm like, yeah, good for you. Only the good nonce is a dead one, man. I'm telling you, I don't give a fuck about being political. I'm not politically correct. I try to be when I'm doing interviews and shit, but I'm not fucking. I'm really, really not, guys. And like I said, this corona, they keep talking about releasing prisoners. Don't talk it. Put it into action. Release the prisoners. Not all of them. I'm not stupid. We can't release them all. Short sentence prisoners should be cut free. IPP prisoners should be cut free. Right? Fucking prisoners coming towards prisoners that are sat Cat C prisoners, Cat D prisons, prisoners that are in Cat C prisons, prisoners that are in the Cat D prisons. Cut them free. Let them go. Right? And we've got 1,700, right, prisoners over the age of 17 in the system. Now, if they're nonces, they're not all nonces because they're old and stuff. Fraser, I could do with you doing a video, Fraser, actually, about this fucking virus if you'd be willing. I can obviously blur your face if you want to be remain anonymous. But yeah, this prison thing, man. Like I said, if they're gonna prisoners are being locked up now, 23 hours a day, right? It's like I'm not an expert on prison, right? Like I said, there's a lot of kids that have done a lot longer in prison than I have, right? Fact, yeah. I've become a very small voice for prisoners, right? And I keep up to date with current affairs and prison news. I'm still speaking to prisoners in the system. Corona. So yeah, I'm just getting on with life, me. At first, right, when I first read about this virus thing, I was like, yeah, bollocks, right? Seeing how many kids are dropping dead off it, right? Now I'm starting to think, yeah, it's legit, right? And the thing is, it's like now kids are dying. It's in prisons, guys, right? Like I said, it's I did an interview the other week, yeah, last week or whatever, and I said, listen, this virus will go through the prison population like a knife through butter. Prisons in unsanitary, unhygienic. A lot of these prisons are old Victorian, decrepit prisons, reminiscent of Dickensian England here in 2020, right? Prisons have had problems with everything. Oh, who's this fucking numpty here? Who's this fucking cock? If I wanted to hear from an arsehole, Gerald, you daft cunt. I've never grasped in my fucking life, you fucking bell end. What a fucking bell sniffer he is, little prick. If I wanted to hear from an arsehole, I'd fucking fart. And get off my fucking channel, you prick. Fucking muppets. Anyway, moving on from the muppet, right? Like I said, if we wanted to hear from an arsehole, we'd fart. I don't know why I coughed. Yeah, man. But like I said, prisoners, man. I'm not for all prisoners. Nonces and stuff like that, and rapists and stuff, and grassies and kiddie fiddlers. Nah, man. There's a muppet, man. It's no joke. I agree with your phrase. Initially, I've got to be honest, right? When it was first announced and everything, I was literally like, I dismissed it and I was a bit fucking, I carried on with my life, yeah, man. Having seen the widespread thing, looking at Italy and stuff like that, I'm good, Phil, Shazbo. I'm literally taking it serious. Like today, I've been out today. I went to Clifton Park with my ma. Had a little walk around, blew the cobwebs off. So yeah. Oh, you good, Jimmy, over in Ireland and everything. Hope you good over there, staying safe and everything. But this prison situation, man, not every prison has got in-cell sanitation, right? Now, I'm hearing like there's a cat A, I don't like, I think it was Long Lighton or Whitemore, and prisoners have been given a litre a bottle of water, and that's got to last them to the next day. Prison visits have been cancelled. Prisoners have been given the option going out on exercise, getting on the phone, and having a shower or exercise. One or the other, not both. This, right, look, right, there's a video that I've just seen online, right? And if you look at the video, it's the Excel Centre in London, and it's a massive, it's a kilometre long, right? A kilometre long, apparently, according to the guy who filmed the video. And they're going to make 4,000 hospital spaces in this place. So that just tells you, if it was going to subside, right, they wouldn't be talking like this, and they wouldn't be taking these precautions and taking back nearly 500,000 people from the NHS, right, and volunteers and everything, right. It's a very dangerous thing. See, there you go. Prisoners, people are dying quicker than they can bury them, and I agree. It's that sort of a virus, man. Yep. And a vote morgue next door, that's 1,000,000%. Yep. A reference to there's a lot of people on this channel that are in the know when it comes to prisons, and there's a lot of people that might not be. When they're doing all these steps and they're giving 900 phones to 55 prisons, which is a drop in the ocean, right? And they're putting £5 on the credit or giving prisoners 10-minute calls a day free. That's not about a goodwill gesture. That's not to sweeten prisoners up. That is prisoners' human rights, and that is also to stop prisoners rioting. Armed robberies on people's homes to rob food. And you know what, guys? If you look at Italy and you look at Spain, right, they're trying to warn us about what's coming to our shores. And it's going to come, guys. It's going to come, and it's going to come, and it's going to wipe people out. And like I've said, the young, babies with no immune system, pregnant women, old people, people with weakened immune system, people with respiratory problems, COPD and such like that are going to die, right? Now, when you go to prison, you don't age the same. Your health deteriorates a lot quicker in prison than it does on the out, right? And like I said, a vitamin D deficiency, that's not going to help your immune system in any which way because of all the false light. And in prison, in certain prisons, you get a recycled air as well. Really, really bad times, guys. Really, really bad. But the thing is, there will be prison riots. I believe there'll be rioting on the streets, but I believe there'll be riots in prisons. I'm still speaking to prisoners up and down the country. They're all thinking along the same sort of lines. Some of them are quite hardcore, cons that have been in the system quite a long time in their lives. And like I've said, all these businesses and stuff are gonna. I know that they're gonna do these fucking like payments and stuff, furlough payments, and 80% up to 2.5 grand, and all this sort of stuff. But a lot of these companies like, are not gonna. Pudu going on, yeah. Oh, you good, Shahib? Shahib's calling me a pussy for anyone that doesn't know, but Shahid's is cool as fuck. From Huddersfield, mate, up in Yorkshire. Yeah, he's from Fartown in Huddersfield. My nana's buried just up the road from where his Mukan is or his house. Um, See, this is the thing, man. If the Simpsons have put it out years ago, right, you know it's going to happen because the Simpsons are bang on. I remember seeing someone putting a picture of they put like a little strip of sellotape over it, and when it gets to the other hand, they open the box and it attacks the face and stuff, right? And like I said, this coronavirus, I'm not having it that it stems from fucking eating bats and stuff in China. They've been doing it for fucking decades, if not centuries, right? They'll eat anything over there, dirty bastards, right? I'm not having it, man. See, that's what I mean, Fraser. Sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully, think about how many people are going to abuse that system, though. Kind of suppressed. Yeah, man, I get it, bro. Like I've said, this whole virus thing. Now we've had a death in HMP Little A. For me, it is a matter of time. Um, it really is a matter of time before we see more deaths in prison. And if they don't release prisoners, you're gonna prisoners are gonna start panicking. Right now, a lot of prisoners are gonna see. There's different prisoners. There's a lot of different mentalities. A lot of people in prison will be thinking, you know what? It's a preventative measure. Cool. It's not ideal, but I get it. They think rationally. There's also a lot of kids in prison that don't think rationally and think it's all a conspiracy and the Chinese, and they're not asked about this virus. They're just asked about where's my visits, where's my association. Like there's no education in work, no industries, no release on temporary license, no face-to-face parole hearings, no workshops, no education, no gym, 23 hours a day lock up. I saw a post yesterday, a reference Aylesbury. Now Aylesbury's a notorious young offenders institution. I think it's HMP and a YOI in it, and the prisoners, the YOIs, got out yesterday for 15 minutes on the yard. That was it. No association. 15 minutes on the yard. Phrase, as far as I know, release on temporary license have been stopped, but see, I'm not definite on that. I've seen conflicting things, right? But they should be continuing. Of course, they should be continuing to release people on temporary license. Of course, they should. Anything that's going to alleviate pressure on the prison system is only going to be a good thing, right? You've got to think, guys, right? The prison officers, let me tell you, they're in a deep they're understaffed anyway, right? People that work across Her Majesty's Prison and Probation Service that are off sick. There was over 1,000 officers. That's probably gone to 1,500 now. Officers off the landings, right? If prisoners are going to riot, There's a good chance if they all coordinate. Obviously, mobile phones are massive within prisons. If prisons coordinate an attack at the same time, right, or thereabouts, these NTRG officers or the National Tactical Response Group officers, who are the Tornado Squad, who are the Riot Squad, right, they won't be able to go into every prison if prisons are kicking off simultaneously. They're over. I swear to God, when you're seeing all these prisons that, oh, we're giving prisoners 10-minute free phone calls a day, and we're giving 900 phones to 55 prisons, which, like I said, it fucking drops in the ocean, right? And then it's not to do. It's not a goodwill gesture. It's not out of the kindness of the heart. It's not out of compassion. It's to distract prisoners, keep the heads on the shoulders so they don't fucking riot. I genuinely believe that. And you know what the thing is? I checked the court listings, right? And certain courts are still going ahead, which I just can't grasp. So they're talking about stopping the spread of the virus and taking preventative measures and locking. Today, when I went to Clifton Country Park, the actual climbing frames and stuff for kids was fucking padlocked. Obviously, the right decision, 1,000,000%. But you've got kids screaming. I was like, no, it's not. It's open. It's open. And recruiting retired prison officers that are 50 or 60. A lot of these officers are retired, not because of their age, but because of what's going on within prisons. Prisons are dangerous places. Now, when you're locking prisoners up 23 hours a day, right? I've spoken to a mother today, right? Her son is in a certain prison, I won't name it, and they sent money in. The money's not landed in his account. They did it days ago, right? Mail. They're getting mail a week later, 6, 5, 4, 3 days later, right? It's not good enough. There's prisons that people are writing in letters and then they're holding it because they know it could be contaminated, right? Now, there's two ways. Again, it could be preventative. Prisoners are looking at it thinking they're trying to fuck with us now, right? So it's just that way inclined, man. But like I said, it's if you bring back old officers that are in the 60s, and I don't know why it keeps buffering, it's doing my fucking head in. But yeah, the whole prison system, guys, for me, the kids I'm talking to within prisons, some really hardcore kids that have done decades behind the door, right? Been in the system, some of the life, most of the life, whatever. And they're feeding me info from the inside, yeah. And different prisons, different category of prisons, and the anger, the frustration at the moment is frustration, right? When more prisoners start to die, and they're still not released anybody because I don't think they're going to. I hope they do, but I don't think they will. And then the regime is 23 hours a day lock up, right? Prisoners are being given the food at the door, right? So the food's been delivered to the door, been plated up and taken and popped, bam, through the door. A lot of the food is cold. They're messing around with prisoners' mails. Letters that are being sent in for loved ones are not being handed to the prisoner. They're telling everyone to use email a prisoner. If you're older in age, right, you might not be tech savvy. You might not have the use of email a prisoner or something like that, right? It's fucking crazy. It's a really scary. Like I've said, these are your loved ones, your friends, your family that are in prison, right? And if it riots and the lid comes off and it blows, and I think you've got to remember the prison system has long time since been a powder keg. And I've said it in countless videos. This could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. No, just because I've got a fucking beard does not mean I'm a fucking Muslim convert. I've got respect for Muslims. I respect the religion. I've got friends that are Muslims. But just because I've got a big fucking silly beard, no, I'm not. I need to get it trimmed, but everywhere's closed. Um, as coverage out of viruses, I don't know what you mean by that, bro. What was that phrase? I need to 15%. Uh, and you know what, right? 15% of the prison population have got respiratory problems as well. I read a story and right, um, they said that 800 prisoners will die. It'll be more than that. Right, you've got people on the out, right, and we're nearly at 500 deaths, right, in as many days, yeah, within a week or whatever, right, and nearly. When it comes to isolation in prison, you're very limited. Healthcare, that's fine having a healthcare wing, But when you're seeing record levels of violence, record levels of assaults, record levels of self-harm, kids keeling over from fucking drugs like spice and everything, right? They're full, or more or less full, right? Then you've got the segregation unit, right? Again, which is a punishment block. Um, as Dovegate, I'm not sure if Dovegate's had it. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't think Dovegate's down. I know Wandsworth, Birmingham, Oakwood, Strangeways, Kilmarnock in Scotland, um, HMP High down, a prison officer tested positive there. You had the death at HMP Lachey. Yeah, a million percent, Lex, a million percent. Prisoners, when I was in Strangeways, we usually have to beg for toilet roll. Like I've said, guys, prisoners, when you look at the like elites and stuff, and then you go down, right? Prisoners are at the bottom of that list. Shit rolls downhill. Shit rolls downhill. And who's at the bottom of that hill? Prisoners. See, newspaper as bog roll. Yeah. I've literally, I remember cleaning a cell at Forest Bank, and down the side of his toilet, there was a fucking, there was like a bag, just like a fucking, just a see-through bag full of socks with shit on them. Prisoners have been using bog roll to wipe their ass. It's not bog roll, socks to wipe their ass. If you think that the government care about prisoners, take the coronavirus away and just look at the prison system. The prison system's more than doubled in the last 25 years. And apart from certain things being implemented and TVs, everything being introduced in 99 or 2000, right? Then look at the prison system. Look at the riots. Look at the squalid conditions, right? Look at the reoffending rates, right? It's really not a good picture, guys. It really isn't. And like I said, I've not got a loved one in prison, but if I had, I'm worried for prisoners now, right? And it's a scary situation. It really is. And like I've said, it's not even begun. We've had one death in prisons, and there's an 84-year-old nonce at HMP Lachey, which is 100% prison nonces. What's he called? Paul Gad is, do you want to be Gary Glitter? What do you do if you have it? Fuck knows, bro. You're not allowed to go to the doctors. You're not allowed to go to hospital. Self isolate. I don't even know. I don't even know if they are testing prisoners, right? Like I said, the prisoners that have tested positive, right? They'll only be testing a small number. A million percent. A million percent. Fraser, a million percent. You know this. I know this. And the sad thing is, now there's been a death in prison, right? You've got to think this nonce in Little A. Right? If all that prison die of coronavirus, good, right? But 100% sex offenders in that jail, right? You've got to think, yeah, it's literally like all the people that have come into to contact with him will have to self-isolate. Do you know what they're doing as well? If one prisoner shows, say you're in a double pad and you show symptoms of coronavirus, right, and you've got a padmate in there, they treat your padmate as if he's got it as well, right, or he's going to get it, so they leave you in, you've got to self-isolate with two people with the same virus or potentially the same virus in the same cell. Yeah, yeah, million percent phrase, million percent. Like I said, there's a lot of kids in prison that are thinking rationally. There's a lot of people in prison that don't think rationally. And this whole, prisoners I'm talking, I've had journalists hitting me up saying, Cody, we are hearing of unrest and growing frustration, which, like I say, frustration, what does frustration become? Becomes anger. Anger boils over into violence or prison riots. Do you think prisoners are just look at the weather as well now? The weather, I know it sounds mad, but in the summer, it's becoming warm now. I was out today, it was 18 degrees here in Manchester, right? And prisoners locked behind the door for 23 hours a day in searing heat, right? Thick glass or plastic, right? Which magnifies the heat into the cell. Like it essentially becomes an oven. And then prisoners locked up 23 hours a day. And then you might think, well, they've got a TV in the cell and stuff like that, right? When you're on association and stuff, say you're doing a bit, say you're selling drugs, you can send out lines and all that sort of stuff. But the drug the drug things within prison is drying up as well, right? But prisons on association is like a marketplace. Some people are grafting, some people are right. So this is the thing. Now, 23-hour lockup, and they're not even allowed out for association. They're allowed out for exercise. See, there you go, man. This is the thing. Fraser's a former prisoner. He knows what he's talking about. Spent years in prison, right? He knows the prison system better than I do, 1,000,000%. And you know what the thing is with this COVID-19? We're not even started, guys. We're probably a few percent in, and we've already seen deaths in prison. Oh, well, the demographic is that it'll only kill the old and the vulnerable and the young and the babies and the pregnant women and the old people. The youngest coronavirus victim is 21 years old, guys. Fit and able 21-year-old woman, dead. Put that in prison. Oh yeah, and then the ventilation thing. There's a distinct lack of these ventilation things. The facts are they're going to prioritize who lives and who dies. If you've got a 35-year-old man, or you've got an 80-year-old woman, or let's say a 35-year-old woman and an 80-year-old woman, they'll save the 35-year-old woman. They're going to prioritize, guys, who they save. It's a fact, right? And countless people, the death toll's not even started, guys, for us. Do you know what makes me laugh? There's non-essential workers that shops are still open and they're still going to work. Non-essential. Spreading the disease. There's a lot of people that are just think, yeah, I don't have to take heed of this, right? Yeah, 1,000,000%. Italy, man. Italy's had more cases than China. I've seen a video that's going around on social media of the Chinese apparently infecting people with this virus. Everyone's in lockdown everywhere. Every prison's locked down. Every prison. Every prison is in lockdown. Thanks, Ryan. Every prison is in lockdown. All prisons are in lockdown. 100%. It's all over social media. I'm hearing it from prisoners. I'm hearing it from prison officers. It's real, guys. That's a good thing. I don't know, phrase. I don't know. Like I said, without being, like I say, Chinese, I couldn't tell a Chinese person from a Korean person, even though I used to see a South Korean girl many, many, many years ago. All prisons are locked down, though. That is one thing I can tell you 1,000% is true. All prisons are locked down. All prison visits are cancelled. And yeah, prison regimes are pretty much 23-hour lockup. You're only allowed out of your cell. Shower, use the phone, exercise. Your food is brought to your cell. What are dangerous accusations, phrase? No, I'm not. I'm just saying. Are you talking about the Chinese thing? Right, I'll try and find the video, phrase, and I'll send it to you. Some are allowed to work well, obviously certain people within the prison are allowed to work because you prison cooks and stuff, right? You've got to keep the food coming for the boys, aren't you? But they're limited, right? Very, very limited. They're limited where they isolate, but prisons are locked down. No, phrase. What I actually said was there's a video going around on social media saying that Chinese people are purposely infecting people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that as a third person, right? I'll send you the video, phrase. I'll find it and I'll send you the video. Right? It's not, like I said, I'm not one of these theories and everything else. I do believe them to an extent, but not fully, right? But I'll send you the video, phrase. And what it does, it's just a compilation of clips showing people from an Oriental background, right, doing that. Yeah, see, that's what goes down, man. Yep, not posted through the apps. No, no, that's you're watching um, too many like police documentaries or something. No, or America. No, but all prisons, like I say, apart from the ones that work in the kitchens and stuff like that, and the wing cleaners, everyone's locked up 23 hours a day. Only allowed out yourself to shower, um, shower, get on the phone if you haven't got an in-cell phone, and to go and exercise. Some prisons, I'm being told, it's a choice. And I know this sounds fucking mental and it doesn't sound right, but certain prisons are saying you can either go and exercise or you can get a shower and use the phone. Not all prisons, certain prisons. I'm good, Paul. I'm good, thank you. But like I've said, this is going to go off. The prison system, if we don't see prison riots on the back of this, right? Fucking, you know what I mean? I'll do a live naked, right? And ain't nobody want to see that. That's worse for your eyes than this coronavirus is for your lungs. From what I'm hearing, phrase, from probably 30 people, right? Both prison officers, people in the know, prisoners' families, and serving prisoners. They are all locked up. It went out yesterday, big prison lockdown. Hold on, let me find it. Hold on. That's in America. It's just come up with loads of American stuff. Yeah, look, yeah. Let me turn the thingy off a bit so it's not as bright. Hold on, is it there? I can't see it. Hold on, where is it? Right, below the thing there, it says, what it says is Union salutes prison lockdown decision. Right, and that's from the POA. So essential workers, um, hold on. So it says here, this means restrictions inside our prisons include prisoners generally locked up and allowed access to use showers, phones where there is no in-cell telephony, exercise, staff to be briefed on arrival for duty, blah, de, blah, de, blah. So prisoners due at court will be discharged to attend unless the court service has advised them otherwise. Yeah, so it just goes on that way, guys. But yeah, so prisons are in lockdown. It's a big thing, and it's happening across the board. Put it like this phrase: I've got a kid. I won't tell him. I won't. He's in a Cat D, right? You've been through Cat D yourself, but yeah, he's in a Cat D, and he's locked down. He's in a place where there's billets, but yeah, it's a billet thing. But yeah, he's locked down. Um, hold on. I don't know if I've got it on here. I don't think I have. Hold on. No, I've not got the screenshot. But yeah, he sent me a screenshot, and he was literally like locked down. And he's I nearly said the name of the prison. I don't want to blow him up. But yeah, it's fucking mad, man. Anyone on here that's got a loved one in prison, you'll be able to tell. Fraser's a former prisoner, very, very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy. But you'll be able to tell him, right? If you've got a loved one in prison, what are they saying to you from inside prison? Go! Tell the world, man. Serious shit, man. They're all fucking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That one. It will be that one. Yeah, I give it away a bit, didn't I? But yeah, he's in that Cat D. Um, and he sent me a picture, and it was just with a lock, so locked, saying lockdown, and the name of the prison. And yeah, it's fucking mad, man. But like I've said, it's just the way it goes, man. Just the way it goes. But like I said, the preventative measure, I get that. I completely get it. But what I'm saying to you, look, my brother's pissed off. Who'd you contact for their well-being? If you go on my community post, right, I posted the direct. If you're worried about the health, safety, or well-being of a loved one, you can ring the prison. If the prison don't answer and it's life or death, ring 999. Simple. Don't mess about. Because, like I said, these prison bosses, they don't give a shit when prisoners are dying from suicide and taking their own lives, right? So, why are they going to care about prisoners when there's a coronavirus? Oh, yeah, Phrase. I get it, Phrase. I'm completely with it. I think rationally. I'm on the prisoner side, as you know. But, yeah, you know that, and I know that. But like I've said, Phrase, we've both been in prison, right? And I like to think I've got my head on my shoulders to some extent. But as you know, Phrase, there's a lot of kids in prison that don't think rationally, right? The loose cannons, or they just don't think rationally. They don't think logically, right? And they're the ones that I'm talking to that are up in arms about this. And like I've said, when they're fucking around with people's mail, like I said again, preventative measures. Prisoners are those hardcore of the hardcore that are not thinking logically. They're turning around and saying, "Well, no, they're fucking with the mailman. They're fucking with my kids are having dough sent in on the secure payment services, right, electronically, and their money's not showing up in their account, man." And like I said, that's the secure payment services thing to deal with. But then the prisoner withholding mail, they're locking prisoners up 23 hours a day, right? They're getting told you can go for a shower, get on the phone, or go for exercise. Some prisons, you can get exercise, shower, and the phone, and they're just doing controlled unlocks. So for those that don't know, a controlled unlock, go to a cell, open that cell. The occupant, one or both, go for a shower, get a shower, go back to the cell, lock them down, go to the next cell, and so on and so forth, right? It's to limit the spread. But the thing is, the prisoners that I'm talking to as well, I've got Scousers in my phone, Manx, Cockneys, people from Cornwall. I've got, honestly, from HMP Exeter up to Frankland, I've got people in prison that are feeding me info, right? A lot of prisoners are like, you know what, it's shit, but it is what it is. Other prisoners are trying to stir the pot and are trying to organise. I'll be careful what I say here. The prison system has a long time been a powder keg, and I've said it 1,000 times. This could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. And the more prisoners that die in prison, and there will be more, unfortunately. Like I said, sex offenders, I don't care for one bit. But there's going to be prisoners that are going to. There's going to be countless prisoners that are going to leave prison in body bag because of this virus. And the more prisoners that die, mixed in with a hot temperature. I know that you might think temperature, what's that got to do with anything, Cody, about rioting? Oh, it will. 23-hour lockup, being fucked about. Like I said, you've got Aylesbury, young offenders, guys. 15 minutes they got out for yesterday. 15 minutes on a yard. Like, everyone back in, everyone behind your door. How long do you think it's if prisoners riot? If prisoners like speak to each other and they plan it, right? The prisoners could take over the system. Now, I don't want that to happen and stuff like that. But I'm giving you the worst case scenario from the people that I'm speaking to. Oh my God, are you serious, bro? Has Sam Walker done that again? Oh my God, what is he playing at him? What is he playing at? I agree, Phil, 1,000,000%. The more this goes on, right, the more, right, the temperature, like I said, when you're on the out and stuff, and you're hot and you're sweaty, you become a bit cranky and stuff. You're not sleeping and stuff, right? When you're in a fucking prison cell where you get little or next to no air, some prisons, Forest Bank, for example, it's not even a window; it's a fucking grill that you turn, and this mechanism opens a little bit of the window. So when you're in that hot temperature, 23 hours a day, right? It's essentially an oven, that cell. Then you get in 23-hour lockup, no work, no education, right? There's so much prisoners that we'll put up with before they snap, right? And like I said, prison. Then you've got the knock-on effect. The more deaths there is, and the more confirmed cases we get in prison, the more prison officers going to be off work sick, self-isolating. There's a lot of prisons that will be milking this. There's a lot of prisons that not prisoners, sorry, prison officers that will be milking this so they don't have to go into prison to go to work. 1,000,000%, Lisa. Well said. That is very well said, but it's true. And like I said, I'm not scaremongering. All prison visits have been cancelled. All prison visits have been cancelled. Yeah, prison visits are cancelled, bro. Here you go. I don't know how clear that is. One sec. States their headline: coronavirus lockdown, prison visits cancelled across England and Wales. It's there in black and white. Google prisons locked down. It comes up as the second result. It's too long to read, but it just says prison visits have been cancelled across England and Wales as jails are placed on lockdown in response to the coronavirus. The Ministry of Justice announced prisons will be closed to visitors on Tuesday, not just on Tuesday, Tuesday onwards, to ensure their safe and secure functioning of our prisons. Oh yeah, Paul, you know what it's like in prison, bro. Or your friend, sorry. Right. Prison healthcare, by the way, is fucking shocking. And I said it on the other day on a video. Dr. Harold Shipman, one of Britain's worst ever serial killers, potentially the worst ever serial killer we've ever had, right? When he was on remand at Strangeways, even though he had no medical thingies or anything like that, right? He was on remand for murdering loads of old women and giving them prescriptions and stuff that killed them, right? And prisoners used to queue up outside his cell to tell him their ailments, and then he would just see them and stuff. And prisoners used to queue up outside his cell. What does that tell you about prison healthcare when prisoners will queue up outside a serial killer's cell as opposed to fucking waiting for an app from prison healthcare? Phrase, how would you how would you describe prison healthcare in prison in a nutshell? And then another thing as well, right? Look at Addiewell the other day. Let me move back a bit. Look at Addiewell the other day, right? Do you believe, right, that was that riot in Addiewell? Was it just it happened at the same time as Corona, or was it Corona related? Yeah, healthcare phrase. Yeah. What are your experiences of healthcare? How would you describe healthcare to people that don't know that loved ones might be in prison? Everything takes time. It's fucking hard work. Yeah. I'm interested to know what Fraser says about healthcare. Fraser might say completely something different to us, right? But for me, prison healthcare is, I've witnessed it firsthand. They've admitted liability, bro. Right? You might get a compensation thing. There you go. Phrase, hit the nail on the head. Paracetamol in prison, you are lucky to get. I literally was going down the stairs to go to exercise at Strangeways from the twos, right, down to the ones, and my knee buckled, right, and it was like it blew up with like a balloon and everything, and then I've hobbled back, yeah, to my cell, and then not doctor, sorry, I wish, a nurse, male nurse came and said, we can give you dissolvable cocodamol or dissolvable paracetamol. He said you can have one or two, I can't remember. And that was it. And I didn't even take them. I just said, get the fuck out of my cell, you dick. Fucking, me nose, right? My knee was blown up like a balloon, yeah? It was unbelievable. Zach Anderson idea, bro. Yeah, so it was fucking crazy, man. Legit, proper crazy shit. The facts are, like I said, if you look at a table from the rich, the elites, all the way down through the classes, where are prisoners, guys? Prisoners, should I say, prisoners, are the lowest rung on the welfare ladder. It's a fact. We're one step up from the homeless. See? That's prison healthcare, guys. Now you've got a deadly coronavirus, right, where the test costs hundreds of pounds, right? I think £500-600 I heard for a test, right? So prisoners can't be confirmed as having it if they don't test them. Oh, well, we didn't know he had the symptoms. We didn't know. And he dies. And then it'll come out that he'd spoken to his mother and he told his mum that he had symptoms and everything. And the prison didn't do fuck all. It goes down that way. You've got to think, guys, right? It costs, yeah, 3,000 on average, right? This depends on what category prison you're in and what category prison you are, right? It costs around £3,061 a month to house somebody in prison. To put them on tag and release them early, right, for this coronavirus, £166 it was quoted. £3,061 or £166 for tag. Tag. It's absolutely mental, right? And you know what? Prison's the only place you can go to prison for not paying your TV license. You go to prison and you don't need a TV license. That's prison in a nutshell. And another thing as well, they're putting all these preventative measures in place, right, to protect prisoners and all this. They're not asked about prisons. They're asked about the staff, right? Yeah, I defend prisoners, bro. What of it, right? Now, the facts are, yeah, they're trying to prevent like the spread of this virus, and they cancel visits, and it's a prison lockdown and 23 hours a day behind your door, more or less, right? And then they're shipping prisoners around the system. Yeah, I'm not really like victims' families. In what regard? What are we talking? It's a very open-ended, wide, open to interpretation question. I never met, no, I didn't meet anyone inside for not having a TV license. I met a guy that had been given 20, he got sentenced to 6 weeks for a non payment of a parking fine that had been dragging on for about 5 years. And he got 6 weeks in prison. Yet, I'm sick of reading stories that paedophiles are caught with thousands and thousands and thousands of indecent images of children and child abuse images, and they get a slap on the wrist and, yeah, suspended sentence for 2 years. And they're gone. Not paying a parking fine, go to prison, not seeing kids and having child abuse images, which fuels the demand for them. You just get to walk off home. It's the reality, guys. Prison, there's people in prison for tax evasion. Right, I was in prison with a guy called Ray, I'll say, and he got done for tax evasion, right? And he got 9 years. You go out and rape somebody, right? You'd be getting around the same sort of sentence, depending on the severity of the crime and stuff like that. Aggravating, mitigating circumstances. Well, there is no mitigating circumstances for rape, but it's a fact. Um, drug dealers and people for tax evasion are getting longer sentences than non-citizen rapists. Fucking mental, man. Absolutely mental. I've got a few vlogs I need to do. I wasn't going to do a live. I was just going to do my vlogs instead. I need to cover a few stories and stuff, right? You get fucking in general. I've been on the wings, bro. I've never been filled in on no wing. I don't know, bro. I'll have to get on to Jono. Jono's part of the furniture. Big Q's away. Big Q's over in Syria. Not Syria. He's in Lebanon. What are your thoughts on the lockdown? What are my thoughts on the lockdown? It's I agree with it to an extent. I do agree with it, but the way that the fucking around with prisoners' mail and stuff like that, and yeah, so they're all about preventative measures, but they're not really doing anything to protect prisoners. Prison cleaners are doing more than they normally do. They put some hand sanitizer on the wing. The hand sanitizer was stolen, and they refused to replace it. Right. So, what do you want me to say to that? Right. And then they're shipping prisoners around the prison system, which could be spreading the virus. The only time prisoners should be moved is prisoners that have been recatted, and they should go to their new category of prison, from Cat A to a Cat B, from a Cat B to, if you get your Cat C, your Cat C to a Cat D, get gone. Yeah, I get the fact that there's got to be a lockdown. I 100%. It's for prisoners' protection at the end of the day, right? And I'm for prisoners, right? So it makes complete sense. I'm not a fucking stupid twat. I know I waffle on. Fraser blessed, right? But yeah, I know I waffle on, right? I am for prisoners. I've always been for prisoners, right? Not all prisoners, like I said, sex offenders and stuff. No, 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 right? And grasses and stuff, right? And people that hurt children, right? No, right? But I'm for prisoners. But this is for prisoners in their best interest. But that's a rational person speaking. when you're locked up in jail, yeah, and you're in pen, and you're spending 23 hours a day locked behind your door, and there's fucking soaring heat coming into your cell, and they're fucking around with your mail. So, some cells, guys, in the prison system, do not have running. They do not have in-cell sanitation. Fact. Not all prisons, very small number, but it's a fact. Goes down that way. Take care, bro. Yeah, it's only slowing the spread 1,000,000%. It's 1,000,000% still. It's just slowing it down. But the facts are that the scary thing is there are going to be more prisoners dying because of this virus. Fact. I promise you. I promise. Away from your loved one, away from your family, in a shitty tiny fucking cell. And if you're sharing your cell and your pad mates had a dump, you could have the fucking smell of shit in the air, getting into your clothes. Like I say, you're getting fucking an hour exercise a day or 45-minute exercise, 5 minutes for your shower and 10 minutes on the phone, if you're lucky. Prison officers are not being nice to prisoners because they want to be. They're doing it. I saw yesterday, HMP Cardiff. Prison. If anyone's got any books or reading material or games that they want to hand into the prison, we'll take them. Is this the same prison? This is the same prison system that spent millions and millions of pounds to stop contraband getting into prison. Now, finally, they're giving prisoners mobile phones, right? Non-internet, of course, right? But they're giving mobile phones to prisoners. Normally, you can only send books through Amazon and shit like that and WH Smith's online, right? This is what I'm saying. Elmley's a 3-up. 3 in a cell at Elmley on the Isle of Sheppey in Kent. This is the thing. So all that the irony of the Ministry of Justice the reason, do you think the Ministry of Justice want to go out and buy 900 mobile phones for prisoners? Did they fuck? It's about prisoners' human rights, but the bigger thing is let's keep them sweet, let's keep them distracted, keep them in the cells, give them board games, give them books, try and make it like let's try and keep them educated and entertained, because if you don't, boredom will kick in, frustration will start to fucking play, right? Frustration becomes anger, the prison system's long been a powder keg, man. And the thing is now, them hardcore people within prisons, they know from reading the headlines that they're struggling staff-wise. If prisoners wanted to riot, they'd take the system. Fact. Violence is going to start. It's not if. It's not if. It's simply when. Fact. And I don't think it's just going to be there. I think you're going to see rioting on the streets, man. I think you're going to see rioting on the streets. I genuinely do believe that, man. More people are going to die. Government are going to be doing, oh yes, so fucking Boris talking out of his fucking ass, right? We're doing it for your safety. The government know a lot more than they're letting on, right? Trust me. Will sentencing get? Do you know what? There's a thing called court serve. If you go on court serve, right? Court serve is all the listings for Crown courts in England and Wales, right? And you can see it. IPP have got nothing to lose. Prison lifers have got nothing to lose. They might get knocked back on a few bail-ups, on a few parole hearings down the line. The thing is as well, another thing what people are not grasping the concept of is, right, prison officers, you've got, like I said, an army of prison officers are off right now, yeah? Prison officers, right, drugs are coming into prison. It's not a secret. I'm not blowing anybody up. But drugs are going into prison every which way imaginable. Prison visits have been cancelled. That's one avenue that's been stopped. Those prison officers that are off sick, self-isolating through the coronavirus, they won't be bringing it in right now, right? So the drug supplies within prison, right, and the profits and stuff, prices are going up. When you've got contraband in prison and there's a drought on, the prices go up, right? When the prices go up, it becomes like a bidding war. Whoever offers the most gets the drugs, right? Because there's a limit. But then your body's craving the drug, and it's craving the drug, and it's craving the drug, and you can't get the drug. And you become agitated. You start to get withdrawal symptoms and stuff like that. Right? This is what's going on in jail, man. And then you've got like I said, then you've got the 23-hour lockup, right? Then you've got where you've got contraband, you've got debt. Where you've got debt, you've got fear, intimidation, bullying, and violence. Yeah, of course, there's prisoners in prison that have got like the contraband, but yeah, they've got fire sticks and stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, rattling the fuck, man. This is the thing, bro. There are so many variants to this whole scenario, right? And the prison system know it. I know it. The people that I'm talking to in prison know it. You lot know it. Aye, man, going on in that, Angie, all right? That was a fucking bad Geordie accent, that, man. Have a chicken parmo, man, and a fucking nutty brown ale, man. But yeah, I'm good, you know. I'm good, Angie. I'm good. But I've just been waffling on for nearly an hour. But anyone that's not people, like I said, when it comes to the prison, fucking that's a mouthful. So yeah, this is the thing, man. It's all going down. Anyone that can't see what's going on in prison is fucking blind. And when you see stories, oh, the 900 phones for 55 prisons, fucking read between the lines, guys. Do you think they want to give prisoners that? No. Prisoners' human rights, one thing, right? Second thing, keep them entertained, keep that family ties and stuff. Because if we don't, it's gonna fucking go, man. It's gonna go, man. I literally, the prison system has been hanging by a thread for a long time, and this will be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and you will see widespread violence within our prisons. I'm talking to prisoners, a lot of them up and down the system. Some of them are like, yeah, yeah, it's rational, bro, and just, yeah, yeah, I understand it. I'm not happy, I'm fucking fuming. They're treating us like fucking dickheads, but it's for the bigger picture, right? It's preventative measures. Other people, other prisoners, are talking and planning and plotting. 23 hours a day lock up in the cells, Luke. 23 hours a day in the cell. The only people that are allowed out are people that are doing laundry, wing cleaners, um, cleaners, people that work in the kitchens and stuff like that, and the servers. That's it. No gym, no workshops, no education, no nothing. Right? Got any advice on getting a flat? Random, bro. Random. You've got to think, right? I saw there's a story that I'm going to be doing about Strangeways, right? And it's like, oh, it's a 23-hour lockup. Strangeways is usually 22, 23-hour lockup. Right? You know all this staying at home bollocks, right? I'm this lockdown thing today, right? I can't even show you because I fucking hold on. No, I will be able to show you. Right, today, right, I broke it, yeah, and I went out. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, I went there today, Clifton Country Park. That's from my Insta. That. I went there today. I had to get out of the house, man. Need to some fresh air. So I went to Clifton Country Park, which is just down the road from me. They drove onto the country park car park as we was coming off. And if they would have said anything, I would have said, yeah, I've been walking. I'm what? There's nothing the police can do to enforce this. It's so easy to fucking circumnavigate. It really, really is. But this prison thing, like I've said, a lot of prisoners, people don't give a fuck about prisoners, yeah, mate. And when you go on do interviews on the radio or TV or whatever it fucking is, and you're talking up for a prisoner, you're there to be the bad guy. You're the scumbag. Oh, oh, Cody, so what you're saying essentially is, I'm just like, mate, listen, fuck that, right? And I come with it. I talk real, bro. I real talk, bro, and I come with it. And like I said, if people don't like it, don't like it. You don't have to tune in. I get some dickhead commented on my channel. Fucking hell, bro, you don't have to post some shite. Right? Well, simple. Take yourself off my fucking channel, you knob. You're the one that fucking took the time to comment on my channel, you bellend. If I wanted to hear from an asshole, I would fucking fart. I don't, so pipe down and shut the fuck up. No, you won't be fine for going to the shop, bro. Like, you're still allowed to go to the shop, bro. Come on, don't ask fucking bone questions, bro. There's these fucking muppets. Oh, hello? Yes, is that the police on 1101? I've been on the phone for 4 hours. Am I okay to go and get some bread from the shop? Am I okay to go and collect my daughter from work? She's a nurse or a doctor. Go fucking sort your heads out, you daft bastards. Need sectioning these muppets. Fucking idiots. That's a very, very good fucking question. That's a very, very, very good question. I don't know the legal standing on that, so I can't answer that question because I simply don't know. But if you're due to release from prison, I don't think they can necessarily detain you, right? Because you've got symptoms. There's people that have. I heard the fact that there was £1,000 fine, or the police could arrest people that refused to go on there. Yeah, do you know what, bro? When I did that Good Morning Britain, I wasn't at my best, bro. I don't. I'm fine doing interviews, bro. I can do interviews with my eyes closed, yeah, man. But I didn't sleep at all, and then I literally woke up, bro, and I'm half asleep, bro, and I'm supping fucking Red Bull and coffee. And then next minute, bro, you're mic'd up and you're on the stage, bro, and you're on the set. And the last time I went, I was on form and I had loads to say. But the other two people, I was trying to see, you've got to be like, so you got to sit there and be like, and you've got to wait for them people to finish. Those people just didn't finish. So it cut me down massively. I'm back on TV next week as well. No, not next week, the week after. I will tell you nearer the time. It's not definite yet. They've penciled in a date for an awesome fucking documentary to go out. Awesome. Some really fucking big hitting kids on there. But that's going to be, hold on, it's not even next week, is it? Not next week, the week after. It's about 3 weeks or something anyway. So, right, guys, I'm coughing and spluttering and I've got a banging headache. So I'm going to knock it on the head there. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And keep doing what you're doing. Massive respect to your big love and everything. But I'm going to close it down, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out. It'll take me about 5 minutes to delete this.